Welcome, Dr. Dawson and classmates. My name is Matt Sergeant Chris Hargreaves, United States Air Force, Arizona Air National Guard, and today I'm going to give an expository speech on the KC-135 aircraft and why air refueling is important to the United States military. I chose this topic for the main reason is I've been part of the KC-135 aircraft and the air refueling mission for almost 20 years now, and I thought it'd be an interesting subject for maybe some of my classmates who don't know what air refueling is or how we do it. So with that being said, I'll start with the KC-135's basic mission. Our primary mission, our number one goal, is to refuel airplanes in the sky while we're flying and they're flying. That is the primary goal of aircraft. Our secondary mission is so we can carry cargo and passengers around the world as needed. So I'll give you a quick example of how ARs are done. ARs are called air refueling. Just in case I use that terminology and kind of clear that for you. We'll be flying in the sky. We'll have a full plane of gas. The other aircraft will come up to our airplane. They'll connect to what we call a boom. And once they're connected, they're talking to our air crew. They receive the gas they need, and then they can break off and go away. And we just sit up there in what we call our refueling track and wait for more aircraft that need gas. Now, to give you an example of how much gas we can carry, most people put in their cars when they fill it up at a gas station, 18 to 20 gallons, maybe 25 gallons if you get a truck. We can carry 30,000 gallons worth of gas. With that gas, we can fly 11,000 miles. So we have a lot of capability of missions we can do. In general, we can refuel airplanes, we can carry people and cargo around the world, and as you can see, we can do it for a long time. Now, why is this important to the United States military? Well, I'll give you an example. First, we'll discuss fighter aircraft. Fighter aircraft take off from their base in what we call a forward operating location, which is a base that's not their home base, but they've set up to help fight the war. Well, when they take off, they go, they support the troops. They're going to run low on fuel. They have two options. One, they can go back to their forward operating location, land the airplane. The pilot has to get out. The maintenance team will look over the airplane. They'll put gas on the airplane. Then the pilot can come back to the aircraft, do his pre-flight checks, and take back off and get to the war zone. Or he can do option B, which is come up to a tanker, which is what we do. Now he leaves the war zone, flies right up into the refueling track that we're sitting in. We're just flying in a big circle in the sky. He receives the gas he needs, right back into the war zone, supporting the troops. It saves time, and it gives a lot more support to the troops on the ground, which is what they really want and is the most efficient way to accomplish war missions. Those are kind of the things that we do for the fighters. Now, a lot of people don't understand we can also do this with cargo aircraft, a C-17 or a C-5. They carry supplies to the troops, whether it's actually in theater or they go to a base that the troops are working from and give them the supplies they need to be able to keep fighting the war and be able to stay in living conditions. So before I get into how that's actually done, I'm going to explain a little bit about aircraft and cargo in particular. Every aircraft is designed with a takeoff weight. That takeoff weight is a maximum weight that plane can weigh for it to be able to take off from the ground. Now, aircraft also has a fly weight, which is a lot heavier than the takeoff weight. So how do we compensate for that? Because we want to get as much supplies to the troops as we can. What the Air Force does is we take gas off the cargo airplane and put more fuel or more cargo onto that aircraft. So now it's still taking off at its maximum takeoff weight, but it's got a lot more supplies for the troops on the ground. Only problem is it doesn't have enough gas to get to where it's going. This is where we come in. They'll take off. This is already a planned action. They'll get up in the sky. They'll start flying in the direction they need to go, and they get in contact with the tanker. Tanker and the cargo airplane meet up. We fill them up with gas. They can continue on to their destination. They don't have to land anywhere, and they've got a lot more supplies for the troops on the ground. Let's say they're going somewhere where one fill-up won't get them where they're going. Well, Air Force does what we call an air bridge, and what that is, we'll have tankers lined up throughout the world at a predestined time that as they're getting there, the tanker will meet them, and they'll keep giving them gas, and they'll keep going on to where they're going. There's no stopping, there's no landing, there's no on-the-ground refueling. It's a continued flight, non-stop. They get the supplies to the troops faster and with more they could carry with just takeoff weight as compared to fly weight. So as you can see, this is really important, especially for the troops on the ground who always need supplies. These are just some of the reasons why air refueling is important to the United States military. But I want to give you a couple fun facts about the KC-135 aircraft. So those of you who are not in the military or have never been part of it can kind of relate to what the capabilities are of the aircraft. So to start off with, if we fill our aircraft with plane, we can carry enough fuel for one 40-mile-per-gallon automobile to drive 1.2 million miles. That's how much gas we can carry. We can carry a lot of fuel. If you think about 1.2 million miles, it's a long way to drive. Sticking on that route or that idea, we can transfer enough gas from our airplane into another airplane in 8 minutes, 8 minutes, than a gas station can pump in 24 hours if they were pumping non-stop. So as you can imagine, we're moving a lot of fuel at a very, very high speed. But if you think about what the mission is, that saves a lot of time. The other airplanes don't need to be up there connecting to our aircraft, waiting for 30 minutes. 8 minutes, 5 minutes, off they go. They're right back in the war zone. Now, that being said, I also mentioned that we're a cargo plane, or we can carry passengers. So I just want to give you a basic idea of the size of the inside of our aircraft, of where we can carry this stuff. We basically can have a bowling alley in our airplane with people on each side to be able to watch. Now, next time you're at a bowling alley, look how long the lane is, and think about having people on the side. That's how much room we have inside the aircraft. So those are just some interesting facts and stuff that people don't know that the military does, or our capabilities, or what the KC-135 is capable of doing. So I would like to put that out there. To recap my speech, I talked about the KC-135's mission, why it's important to the fighters and cargo aircraft and the military itself, and I gave you some fun facts about the KC-135 that most people don't know and I thought would be interesting. So I'd like to thank you for watching my video speech, and I hope you learned something new or at least found it interesting. And I thank you very much and hope to see you again. Bye.